Alright, welcome to another in our End of the Line series, where we take a train right the way to the end of the line, and where the tracks stop, the exploring starts. Future Paul here, hi. Yes, that is toothpaste on my lip. Yes, it does stay there for quite a while. Sorry. Back to the video. Today we are in Manchester Piccadilly station, the largest train station here in Manchester, and we're going to be getting a train, as you've seen by the title, down to Buxton in High Peak, which is a beautiful little market town. I believe Britain's highest market town. I'll double check that, but that's what I've been told. We'll see when we get there. It's just one train straight the way through. It's going to be leaving in about 10-15 minutes, so I suppose I better get and move on. We'll have a quick look around the station while we're here, and then jump on the train, and I'll tell you a bit more about Buxton. Platforms 11 and 12 here at the end. Platforms 13 and 14 are quite interesting. If you ever find yourself leaving from platform 13 or 14, give yourself plenty of time, because they're about 300 miles away. Along the travellators, up the travellators, down the stairs, up the stairs, round the stairs. It takes you absolutely ages to get to 13 and 14. But as you can see, 11 and 12 over there, and 10 down all the way down to 1 over there. Lots of different train services come here. Those ones there in front of us are the Trans-Pennine Express trains. They go over to Leeds in the East Coast. We have Avanti West Coast trains that go down to London, which you might be getting in an upcoming vlog, so keep your eyes open for that. And then obviously Transport for Wales trains going into Wales, and lots of shorter sprinter style services going all over the country really. It's a proper hub. Buxton 8:50, platform 4. So that would be this one here. As indicated by the massive 4. It's not here by the looks of it, so we'll just hang back a bit. This looks like a Transport for Wales train. The same train, or same sort of train, 197113. Same sort of train, certainly, that we got to our last end of the line trip, which was in Llandudno. And there it is, 156459. I'm sure we'll find something out about that in a bit. It is a battered looking old train, I'll give it that. It's definitely an old one. So we're now on the train, very noisy train. The train itself is extremely noisy. All the windows are open because it is absolutely boiling again today, even at this time of the morning. and also noisy because there's a lot of people on it. Family with young kids just got on, and the kids are obviously out for the day. Maybe going to Buxton, let's see where they get off, but they are in high spirits, which is great, but a little bit noisy. So apologies for the background noise. Buxton. I'll tell you a bit more about it when we're there. We've got a few places that I want to go and see, but it does have quite a rich history, which we'll go into in detail. But a little quiz for you on the way down. What is Buxton most famous for? Well, certainly most famous for these days. Have a think, and if you can get it by the time we get there, get a gold star. So refreshing. Right guys, that's us. Arrived at Buxton. Let's go and see what the town has to offer. There you go guys, 3 trains in a row. Not too sure why there's 3 here, but quite an interesting end of the line setup. 156, 416, 150, 145 and 150, 108. Very old looking trains there. Just 2 platforms here at Buxton, platform 1 and platform 2 that we just came in at. Nice little walkway at the end, because it is of course the end of the line, so you can just walk around the end of the trains, which is quite cute. Nice building there, not too sure what that is, and a little garden. Again, very cute. With some letters and painted bees. I'm assuming that's a kids thing. I'm assuming there's something they do for the children around here. But yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? Very small station, not a lot going on. There's a couple of people at the station actually waiting for a train to take them back to sort of Stockport, Manchester way. But they've seen our train arrive. They spoke to the driver and he said, well, there's not actually another one for a couple of hours. So the trains just come and they just sit here for a couple of hours and then before they go back. So yeah, that's the station. I say so yeah a lot, don't I? I must work on that. That's the station. Very nice. Let's head out and see what else Buxton has to offer. So vloggers, here I am in a field, and quite a boring field to be honest. There's nothing going on here. A couple of trees, lots of grass that to be honest could do with a cut. But this is probably one of the most interesting sites in Buxton. Like I said, nothing to see here now, but back in 1984, a Stone Age settlement was discovered in these actual fields. It's now a scheduled monument. You can't see a lot, but obviously no building can go on here, hence why it's just left as a field. But the Stone Age settlement was from 6,000 years ago. Quite interesting. 6,000 years is a long time. If you're watching this in America, that's a hell of a long time. So we move on in the history of Buxton all the way to 1789, when William Cavendish, the then current Duke of Devonshire, made an absolute fortune from copper mines on his properties, and he decided to invest some of that money into turning Buxton into basically a north of England version of Bath. Bath was a very successful spa town at the time, absolutely booming. So he wanted to take advantage of the natural springs here in Buxton and do the same sort of thing. So he took his money and, to be fair, he invested it. With this building across from us being completed in 1789, like I said. It's called the Crescent. It's basically an absolutely stunning Georgian style crescent of houses. And still now it has the baths at the far end. Insert drone shots of baths. But yeah, really, really nice building. Set against the park here. Not me. Look at the park. Lots of big trees, which will cause problems for the drone, but there you go. So yeah, the idea that he had was to turn it into a spa town, and it was very successful. Some more lovely shots of the Crescent there behind me. Absolutely beautiful building. So Buxton was of course a spa town known for its springs, but what you might not know is that in 1460 the spring actually became a holy spring. It was made so, and this here is St Anne's Well, which is still running today, and there she is, bless her. And it's fresh, clean drinking water, so let's fill it up. Should be pointed out, these aren't cold springs, so the water's actually quite warm, and especially today when it's a hot day. Apart from the fact that the water is typically warm anyway, and it's a hot day, it's obviously even hotter when it comes out, but let's give it a try. Let's see what holy water tastes like in 2025. Tastes like water. Quite nice though. Right, on with our travels. Leave the holy water behind us and carry on up through the town. So another interesting building in Buxton, there is a lot of them to be fair, is the one opposite me, the Old Hall Hotel. Again, another lovely building that, is it sandstone? What most of the town seems to be made of. And this particular building is interesting because Mary Queen of Scots stayed here in, I believe, 1573. While she was under, I mean, she was in prison essentially at the time, Mary Queen of Scots, imprisoned in the Tower of London, I believe. But she was allowed out. Her jailer at the time had been to, the Earl of Shrewsbury had been to Buxton before to take the waters, as they used to do in those days. And he felt lots of health benefits from it, so they thought it would be nice to bring Mary Queen of Scots here. During her incarceration, there's a bit of a trip, I guess, to, she wasn't well at the time, so they thought bringing her here to take the waters would help her. Obviously, she was a prisoner, but pays to keep her alive at the time, so keeping her healthy was obviously quite important as well. So yeah, that's the Old Hall Hotel. Well, having quite a nice day so far here in Buxton, learning a bit about the town. But one really important question that we haven't answered yet is probably the most important when you come to a new town. What's the spoons like? Got to be done. And I have to tell you, from the outside at least, it looks pretty fucking nice. Let's cross over the road and have a little nosy. Beautiful old building. The Y Bridge House. Maybe we'll learn a bit more about that shortly. Yeah, what a gorgeous building, and set in some quite nice grounds, to be fair. I don't know if this is part of the Wetherspoons, or actually looks very much like it's a council-owned park, this, but right outside. What an absolutely beautiful place to have a spot of lunch and a couple of cheeky pints. Buxton is, and this whole area of the High Peak area is really popular with motorbikes. So you'll probably hear loads of them in the background of this video during the day, and you will see lots. There's a couple outside spoons here. Let me show you. Whether day trippers or these guys are obviously out doing something a bit more than that. Some cracking roads around here, cracking scenery, and obviously bikers absolutely love it. Right, anyway, let's get inside and see what this place is like. Cheers. and welcome to Wybridge House, Buxton's Wetherspoons. Beautiful old building, as you've seen from outside, and insert drone shot here. It was originally built for the owner of the local mill. Back then there was only really two ways to have money, particularly in this part of the world. One was to be born with it, to inherit it, like the local duke did, who built the Crescent that we saw earlier on. Or of course earn it by starting a mill. It's pretty much the only way it happened. So this was built as the house for the owner of Y Mill, which was just next door. Long since demolished, unfortunately. The mill itself's not there, but this house is still here. It's on the River Wye, hence why, and it's right by a bridge. Insert drone shot of bridge. So that's where it gets its name from. Absolutely beautiful building. Wetherspoons have done what it does with lots of old buildings. It picked it up, I think, in the early 2000s and completely renovated and restored it. And to be honest, they keep it great. Say what you like about Wetherspoons, and a lot of people do have opinions on them. The way they restore old buildings like this and preserve them is really something that you know, they are rightly very proud of. And because it's Wetherspoons, you know exactly what you're getting. The drinks are cheap. There's a great selection. The food's absolutely fine, perfectly edible, quite nice, and again, dirt cheap. So cheers to Wetherspoons, and cheers to Wybridge. Okay, vloggers, I seem to have found myself in the middle of a housing estate. Not quite sure why I'm here, but worry not, we will figure it out. Heading up towards Poole Caverns, which is one of many caverns around here, from old mines, I'm assuming, or maybe just natural caverns. I guess we'll find out when we get there. But anyway, I'm heading up that way now. Let's hope I do know where I'm going, I'm not actually lost. Your guess is as good as mine at the minute. All right, here we are. Beautiful little building. Let's go see what's in here.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
What's all this about then?
Oh, well.
Tell me a little bit about it. Is that okay? Do you mind being on camera?
No,
It's just for the vlog. It's just nothing exciting.
Fabulous. No, we are a natural show cave, 2 million years old.
Wow,
We
okay.
were carved out by glacial meltwater. We've got lots of human history, and now we've got lots of calcite formations.
Fantastic. So it's not like a mine or anything, it's just carved out, completely natural.
Completely natural.
Cute. And how long does it take to go around and see it?
About 45 to 50 minutes.
And how much is it?
Ooh, prices are just on the clip frame there. It's £20 an adult.
£20 an adult. This again, the Duke of Devonshire opened Poole's Caverns in the 1850s. Obviously we've changed a lot since then, health and safety and everything. Lots of crystals here. A lot of people obviously believe that crystals have healing powers. And there's a name for those people, and that is idiots. Sort yourselves out. Right, we will be back in 10 minutes to enter the caves. Sorry guys, had to turn the camera back on before we go down to the caverns. I've just noticed this in the cafe. And it is ridiculously cute. Look at this. They've got a whole wall. 2 walls, in fact, they call Poole's Pooches. Now they've got pictures. All the little doggos that have been. How insanely cute is that? Have you been here? Have you visited? Is your dog on there? Drop a comment if it is. Super cute.
So welcome to Poole's Cavern. Good afternoon, my name is Angela. I'll obviously be your tour guide for the next 45 minutes or so.
Well, what do we think of that? I thought it was quite good. 20 quid for an adult ticket. Sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it, 20 quid, but you pay that for a takeaway these days. So yeah, it was good, about 45-50 minutes. Bit of history of the caverns and lots of cool things to look at, which hopefully I got some footage of. So now we are going to walk through Grin Low Wood and hopefully up to Solomon's Temple. I think this is the right way. Oh, here's somebody we can ask him. Excuse me, mate. This way up to Solomon's Temple? Hello? This way? Wow. Rude. Oh, made it to the top of the Solomon's Temple. Insert drone footage as obvious, but just basically a little folly lookout tower. Let's go inside and have a look. Well, that is a lot of sheep shit. Doesn't smell great, not gonna lie. It's like a dung funnel, isn't it? Let's get up these stairs. There is a lot of sheep shit at the bottom, and this little thing does not smell good.
Watch what you're doing.
Here we are at the top. Ooh. Cracking views. Beautiful. Let's have a look around. A bit busy up here, but we'll find a spot we can look out on. There you go. How exciting. Albeit a bit stinky. Let's go back down. Well, vloggers, as you will see, we have now moved into Pavilion Gardens. Very nice in here. Well, they call it a conservatory, and it's definitely a conservatory. Very hot, full of plants. Then we move through into the pavilion kitchen. By the looks of it, it's just a restaurant. Let's have a look up the stairs and see what's going on. Just a nice little upstairs seating area. Again, I've said this a lot in Buxton, but how incredibly cute. Look at those chairs as well. Stunning. A nice place at the far end. They've got a quite small, but still it's good that it's there, little kiddies play area, which obviously we won't video for obvious reasons. Let's have a look instead at what food they've got on. Cake sandwiches, that sort of stuff, all very good. And then we're through to what looks like the gift shop. So, the lovely Holly said we can pop into the Octagon Hall, have a quick mooch around. She didn't seem to mind, so that's really nice of her. Thank you for that, Holly, if you end up watching the vlog. Let's have a quick look in the Octagon Hall. Seems to be sort of an event space, so let's go in. Okay, it's very echoey in here. So we've got a little bar there. And this, guys, is the Octagon Hall. What an absolutely magnificent space this is. Amazing acoustics. And just an overall absolutely gorgeous building. I mean, look at that ceiling. Well, that was a nice little extra treat. I am incredibly thirsty. Yes, I am well aware I have water. Holy water, no less. Still have some water from St. Anne's Well in the backpack there. But I think I need something slightly different now. The vlog is coming to an end. I think it's time I got myself a little light refreshment. And you know what that means, don't you? Oh yeah, beer. Let's see what they got in the fridge. Quite the selection. Excuse my reflection, let's just get this open and have a quick look what they've got in there. So if you fancy a wang doodle, or some fresh pulp, or some Black Forest buttermilk pancake stack. Seriously? Wow. Pastry stout, 9.7% proof. That is ludicrous. What even is that? I dread to think. But one thing I have noticed that they have. What does that say there? What does that say there? They made me do it. Cheers. Delicious, that. Quite fruity. But what a good find. A gluten-free lager from a local Buxton brewery. It's called Cavern, by the way, if you want to try it. It's very much a lager, classic lager, but it is a lot fruitier than your sort of, you know, Stellas and Beer Moretti's and Carlsbergs and stuff. It was very nice. It was £3.30 for a 440 millilitre can, which is quite an odd size. So just short of a pint. But yeah, very, very nice and tasty. How cool is that? Seek a little bit of shade underneath this tree while they carry on with... They did give it a proper name, but I mean, it's the Austin Powers music, isn't it? That's what it is. Let's be honest. I don't know what fancy name they give it, but that is definitely Austin Powers music. Anyway, guys, I think that's probably it from Buxton. I might do a little bit of an outro on the train. Then again, I might not. It's been good. I've really enjoyed it. The weather's been muggy. It's been close, as everyone's nan would call it. But it's been really, really good. I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful little town. Lots of history, nice, friendly people. So much to see and do, particularly on a nice day. I can imagine this place absolutely thriving. But even though it's been a bit cloudy today, it's still been great. Like I say, loads of things to do. If you're thinking of coming to Buxton, visiting the end of the line, then by all means do so. Having a great time, you will too. Cheers.
Well, hey guys, welcome to Buxton. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Have a great time, and of course, see you very soon. Take care.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, you damn right.
Thanks, Dan. Good to meet you, mate.
Oh, you're welcome.
Take it easy.